I would like to order a large pizza. Yeah, half cheese, half pepperoni. Yeah. Yeah, 2 liter bottle of soda. Yeah, Coke. Yeah, that'd be perfect. Oh, okay, thank you. Can I help you?
Oh, right. This is a study room, right?
Yeah.
Could I use this place? I was looking around for a study room, and
No, you can't use it.
Why not?
You just can't.
Well, I mean, a student. It's a study room for students.
All right. If you're gonna come in here, I need to check your backpack.
Yeah, that's sure.
I need you to open every single pocket. All right, come on, open up. What do you have in here?
Just stuff.
Stuff?
For students.
No.
I'm
What's
assuming
in
here.
here?
It's school stuff.
What is this?
That's not important. Okay? Look, I'm all good, right?
No, you're not good. This is not okay. Take your stuff and leave.
Okay.
I need you to take your stuff and leave. You can't be in here.
But I can have.
You can't. Go back where you came from. Hurry up.
Okay.
You're gonna have to leave. Hurry up.
Can I?
No, you can't take that.
Okay.
Come on.
Yeah.
This is the second time you asked me. Come on. In the 21st century, immigration has become a great political concern. But we have to start off with the basics. What is immigration? Immigration is the act of somebody from country A moving and settling permanently in country B. What are the legal ways and illegal ways to enter America?
So, if someone from a foreign nation wants to enter the United States in a legal fashion, they're going to need a passport and a valid visa. A visa is basically government permission to enter said country. There are 3 main ways to enter the country illegally. The first and most common is just illegal entry, which involves crossing the border, usually with the help of another party, and staying in the country. Another way to enter the country illegally is visa overstay, where a tourist or someone here for business uses a tourist or business visa, but then stays longer than is permitted on that visa. Another way to enter the country illegally is similar to visa overstay, which is border crossing card violation, where someone uses a border crossing card, but stays in the country longer than is permitted on that card.
A trabajar para mantener a mis 4 hijos que había dejado allá en Guatemala.
No. ¿Y por qué dejaste estos 4 hijos?
Porque había muerto el papá de ellos y entonces para poder mantenerlos me tocó que venirme para este país a trabajar y poder mandar dinero a ellos.
Okay. Y
comida, para ropa, para bebida, porque eran 4 y en mi país pues no era fácil de trabajar para mantener 4 hijos.
So if you think about the impact that illegal immigration has on both those countries, you have to begin with the numbers. You have to consider that the majority of illegal immigrants to the United States are members of families, which are seeking better economic opportunities in the United States, sometimes Canada. And as those illegal migrants come to the United States, not only do they leave families behind and therefore sort of tear asunder their families, they also leave their families short a person for the emotional support, but they also leave their families short a person for the financial support. And then you multiply that by millions of people, and what you get are communities that are financially undersupported.
Well, I think it's a very complex issue, and I think sometimes we hear in the news, people saying, giving opinions on either side, and I think they don't realize the complexity of it. one of the things I do wonder at from a macroeconomic perspective is even though the money may be leaving the country, does it come back somehow in the form of purchase of U.S. exports? In that case, I imagine a certain percentage of that would come back, so it may not be quite as dramatic an effect negatively as one would think. I think that as far as when we talk illegal immigrants and working in the U.S., though a certain amount of the money may be expatriated and go back to their home countries, a certain amount of it also goes back into our economy because these individuals have to live. And as they purchase goods and services in the U.S., their dollars actually help to grow our economy.
Immigration reform is a political term that refers to any change in government policy towards allowing immigrants to enter the country or dealing with immigrants already within the country. It can range from deporting all immigrants to granting citizenship for those already living here.
Personally, I think it's inhumane
To deport everyone?
to just deport.
Yeah.
I mean, if he truly is interested in deporting every single illegal immigrant, that would include children who were brought here by their parents. They had no say in coming here, and they've made friends. They've established relationships, and now you just uproot them. I mean, that can't be good for their psychology. So I think it's inhumane to do it. I also think it's just unfeasible. You can't do it. You're talking about shipping back 12, maybe even 20 million people. How are you proposing to do that? And if you ship out 12 to 20 million people, you're shipping out 12 to 20 million workers. So, you're taking out the earning potential of multi-millions of people. That I don't see how that could be good for the economy. I don't see how it would be good for our image as like this humanitarian nation.
America's best option for immigration reform is granting legal status to more undocumented immigrants already living within the country.
The economic benefits of immigration reform are deficit reduction, the accountable path to citizenship, which creates 121,000 new American jobs, an increase in GDP, a surplus of Social Security, American wages will increase, and lastly, help for the state budget.
You can generally say that it would have a very debilitating financial effect. If you look at the restaurant industry, for instance, numbers aren't, these numbers are approximate, but something like 80% of the kitchen force of most restaurants, and that's short order cooks, that's dishwashers, that's custodians, are illegal immigrants. And they typically, perform a very good, good job. They, work for diminished pay. Could you imagine if 80% of the kitchen force of most restaurants across this country just up and left? What that would do? And if you reduce 80% of the labor force for that segment that's contributing to the GDP, you're going to have a diminished GDP.
This graph displays statistics regarding what would have happened in the U.S. economy if undocumented immigrants were given legal status in 2013. What this graph shows us is that if we were to give these undocumented immigrants legal status, the GDP would increase substantially, as would the income for every American, the taxes those immigrants pay, and the number of jobs available. These numbers would be even larger if we were to give these immigrants both legal status and citizenship within the same year.
I'd say logistically, how would we do something like that? The cost would be astronomical to deport such a large percentage of non-legal immigrants or illegal immigrants. And tracking, finding, sending, the cost and the logistics of trying to do a quote-unquote roundup would really be a challenge.
There are, of course, many different conflicts that arise with political reform, things that prevent political reform from happening. Uh, Mostly this is due to just political clashes between parties in the United States that stops progress from happening. And of course, there are other more specific examples in regard to individual immigrants, whether illegal or legal. For instance, Paul Ryan has recently stated that he is not going to discuss immigration reform with the Obama administration, that he's waiting for the next administration.
Despite the negative commentaries, American citizens must realize that America's best option is to give illegal immigrants within the country legal status in order to bring social and economic prosperity.